This is gonna stall.
I know that's what I was thinking. I'm gonna plug you in one more time and then make sure you guys, and then I'm gonna unplug you until after the national anthem. And then if I'll give you a light view of the frequencies, so.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
And you're gonna be silent until after.
We have time to figure it out.
Somebody happens with the new goal. Huh? Is it running? Is it taking?
When I try and join, it says I'm the login.
Yeah, that's mine. It says happening. What is it now? What do you see on this?
Yeah, I just put a note up there that everybody. Yeah, I think when you make the notes, just share the link with people. Yeah, it's from asking to cross those to that. Yeah. So I'm gonna go and see if I can. I was supposed to send you guys. Yeah, but. Yeah, let's see. What we do. Are you done? Can you just make me last week?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Our ceremony will begin in a few moments.
So I made a post, I shared the YouTube feed directly on Facebook, so you might have to approve it. So I'll just do it now, so see if you can like the post real quick, and
Click on the photos button. At the top left. This one. Go to. Yeah, so, hold on. You can get messages on this thing. So what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna message you the link on here and then just copy and paste it correctly. So. Alright. So you should get a little message somewhere on here. From the AoC page. Yeah, so take this and trigger the notifications. Yep. So. You want to have this. You're gonna go back to the. That page, yep. These arrows and post. And just say. Yeah, just put use this. Yep, so all the people that log into this page should see this YouTube and then. There you go. You're good. That's what, so yeah, I live posted. I just-
Do you want to give me a second to let people
Yeah.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Our ceremony will begin in a few moments. As a reminder, it is customary for military members to stand at attention when they're playing the national anthem, while our civilians must stand with their right hand over their heart. In accordance with COVID-19 safety guidelines, today's ceremony is virtual. Guests joining us via Facebook and YouTube are invited to leave comments of well wishes for our incoming commander. Thank you. Good morning. morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Staff Sergeant Brittany Brown, your narrator for today's ceremony. On behalf of the presiding officer, Colonel James Chatcher, I would like to welcome you to our Assumption of Command ceremony. Today, the men and women of the 85th Engineering Installation Squadron welcome our new commander, Lieutenant Colonel Whit P. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem by Lieutenant Colonel Walker's daughter, Miss Ella Walker, followed by the invocation given virtually by a family friend of the Walkers, Master Sergeant Solomon Whiskey.
I ask you to please join me in prayer. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Heavenly Father, you're awesome, great, and holy. We praise you for giving us life, even though we take it for granted. God, we ask you to be with Whit as he first and foremost leads his family, Dee, Ella, Liam, and Ethan. We ask that you give him wisdom and guidance to balance his schedule as he also leads the men and women you've placed under him. We ask that you would allow him to embody the leadership of Jesus, which served all of us, God. We ask that he would be an example, that he would be approachable, and that he would lead with your wisdom, and that he would lead not on his own understanding, but in all his ways acknowledge you, and that he would be a light to those he encounters, and that you would be glorified through him, and that he would practice the core values of integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do for your glory and not ours. Be with him as he takes command, and may he trust in you in all that he does. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you, Ella and Sergeant Grigsby. Before we begin our ceremony, we would like to introduce our distinguished guests, starting with the official party. Today's presiding officer, the commander, 38th Cyberspace Engineering Installation Group, Colonel James M. Chatcher, and his wife Donna, joining us online. The incoming commander, Lieutenant Colonel Whit Walker, accompanied by his spouse Deanna, his daughter Ella, his sons Liam and Ethan, and his mother Alexis Walker. Also joining us virtually, the Director of Cyberspace and Information Dominance and Chief Information Officer, Headquarters Air Combat Command, Brigadier General Chad Radke. Brigadier General Retired Greg Toohill, the Commander, 688th Cyberspace Wing, Colonel Stephen Anderson. The Command Chief Master Sergeant, 688th Cyberspace Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Israel Yeager. The Commander, 403rd Wing, Colonel Jeff Van Dunen. The Commander, 81st Training Wing, Colonel Heather Blackwell. The Vice Commander, 81st Training Wing, Colonel James Cade. The Command Chief Master Sergeant, 81st Training Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Sarah Esparza. and the Director of Staff, 81st Trading Wing, Brian Thompson. Finally, we would like to welcome all commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, family, and friends who have joined us today via Facebook Live and YouTube. We appreciate your presence and camaraderie on this special occasion. The change of command ceremony is deeply rooted in military tradition and dates back to the time of Frederick the Great of Prussia. During that period, military organizations developed flags bearing specialized colors and designs unique to each unit. When soldiers followed their leaders into battle, they kept sight of these flags. If their banners still waved after the battle, it was a sign that their side had emerged victorious on the battlefield. Because of its symbolic importance, this flag was incorporated into the ancient change of command ceremony. The organizational banner was exchanged in public for all to witness the naming of a new sovereign leader of any army. The modern ceremony is simple and direct. It continues to announce to all the authority of the incoming commander in the finest of military tradition. Ladies and gentlemen, our presiding officer, Colonel Churcher.
All right, good morning and giddy up. Apparently I'm supposed to sanitize the microphone before I begin, so bear with me just a moment. Okay, outside it may be a cloudy, rainy day here on America's Gulf Coast, but here within the hallowed halls of Maltby Hall, here in the cradle of the Air Force's communications and electronics and cyberspace career fields, Keesler Air Force Base, it is truly a great day. For today, the men and the women of the 85th Engineering Installation Squadron welcome their new commander, Lieutenant Colonel Whit Walker. Somewhat sparse crowd here inside, but we know that we have many well-wishers joining us online. To our distinguished visitors, General Radke, General Tughill, Colonel Anderson and Chief Yeager, Colonel Blackwell, Colonel Caper, Chief Esparza, and Mr. Thompson, and Colonel Van Duty. Thank you for joining us this morning. To Colonel Fireball Dillon and Colonel Frank Dominguez and our EI squadron commanders from the Air National Guard, thank you for making this a total force event this morning. And to all commanders, directors, chiefs, first sergeants, and all others joining us this morning, thank you for making time in your busy schedules to join us for today's ceremony. A special warm welcome to Colonel Walker's family, Deanna, Ella, Liam, and Ethan. It's my great honor to welcome you here to your new family in the 85th, and also to the Cyber Cyclone family of the 38th CEIG, and on behalf of Colonel Anderson, to the Dominator family of the 688th Cyberspace Wing. Welcome. And to Colonel Walker's mother, Alexis, we're so delighted that you're able to visit and join us for this ceremony as well. You look like a really proud mom and a great reason. We're proud of you as well. Deanna, I can't promise you that there won't be nights when it's not working late. And kids, I can't promise you that there won't be phone call interruptions to movie night or Friday video game day or your weekend plans. What I can promise you is that you are about to embark upon one of the most challenging assignments of your career, but also one of the most rewarding ones. So hang on, it's going to be a quick 2 years, all gas, no brakes. Ella, thank you for sharing your talents with us by playing the national anthem this morning. Clearly, there's a lot of talent that runs within the Walker family. And Master Sergeant Grigsby, thank you for enduring some of the technical challenges and leveraging our great technology to overcome the tyranny of distance and render such a great invitation this morning, both that is inspiring and imparts wisdom and encouragement to Colonel Walker and his family as he takes the reign of command. These events never happen on their own, so special thanks to Lieutenant Crystal Miles, Lieutenant Stephen Lopez, and Staff Sergeant Brown, and others who contributed to making this event a reality. Great work, team. couple of quick recognitions first. Colonel Jason Fick, hope you're watching with us this morning, who's gracious enough, to release Colonel Walker from his previous assignment a little bit early so that he could come and assume commands now, as opposed to later on in the spring or summer when these events normally take place. Shrek, if you're watching, brother, thanks. I owe you one. Just add it to the tab. and finally, to Major Bud Wynn, he's the squadron's director of operations, and also for the last year has been the squadron's acting commander. Notice I say acting commander, which explains why this is an assumption of command ceremony as opposed to a change of command. And that also explains why Bud is not up here on the platform with us. But make no mistake, Major Wynn has capably led this squadron in executing its mission for the past 12 months. Despite a volatile operating environment characterized by pandemic operations, civic turmoil, a demand signal approaching nigh infinity, a sweltering ops tempo, and a whirlwind of organizational change. Bud may be the one person who's been looking forward to this day more than you have. So I say that a little bit in jest, but it is no joke. You are getting just an outstanding director of operations who will serve you well as you take command of this amazing unit. So Whit family, welcome to the 85th. Now, before I hand over that guidon that the first sergeant has so capably secured, you're going to have to indulge me as I take a moment and brag about this unit that you're about to assume command of. But first off, let's set the Wayback Machine to the beginning of the global pandemic last year, when COVID first spread into the U.S. and we quickly found ourselves in a virtual lockdown. In March of last year, the 85th received an urgent request from 9th Air Force asking for assistance to stand up a joint operations center for U.S. Northern Command's Joint Task Force Southeast. Now, this JOC was needed to coordinate domestic pandemic response for the southeastern sector of the United States. Within 48 hours of being officially tasked, an 11-man team from both here at the 85th EIS and also the 272nd EIS from the Air National Guard were on-site, boots on the ground, Shaw Air Force Base, working around the clock in isolated teams to prevent COVID-induced delays. The team immediately set to work installing the JOC's cyber infrastructure, including 160 CyberNet drops, over 200 NIPRNet drops, and over 52,000 feet of network cabling. Now, for the folks keeping score at home, that's just shy of 10 miles worth of cable. A job that was expected to take at least 3 weeks was completed in just one, saving over $330,000 of scarce national treasure in contracting costs. Moving into territory that you're a little bit more familiar with, over the past year, 30 airmen from this unit have deployed in support of U.S. Special Operations Command's missions, completing 7 major C4I projects worth over $6 million, supporting operations, plural, Inherent Resolve and Freedom's Sentinel, enabling over 1,000 combat operations against violent extremist enemy combatants. But wait, there's more. Airmen from the 85th helped ready Missile Defense Agency and U.S. Space Force facilities supporting the nation's emerging Arctic strategy. They relocated major network nodes and restored damaged circuits at storm-ravaged Tyndall Air Force Base, Florida, helping bring that installation's $8.5 billion F-22 training mission back online to the tune of 16,000 flying sortie training hours per year. They absolutely crushed a high-priority ISR hub, modernizing air traffic control and landing systems for U-2 flights supporting 6 combatant commanders. They were the driving force behind recapitalizing a vital Cold War era nuclear command and control system known as SACS, updating legacy time domain multiplexing components to ensure its enduring utility for deterrence operations, within an era of global strategic communications. And finally, right here at Keesler Air Force Base, this squadron provided infrastructure support to 2nd Air Force's dispersed basic military training concept, enabling the first VMTS classes outside of Lackland Air Force Base since 1968, and ensuring uninterrupted sessions for future generations of airmen. So good stuff with no pressure. Now, no pressure for me, not for you, because after reading through your record and talking to the airmen whom you served with and worked for, I have absolutely zero doubt that the Air Force got it right in selecting you for command. Your duty history reads like a resume that was exquisitely tailored for the job you're about to enter into. This past summer, I had the privilege of working with my peers from the Expeditionary Communications career field, where we came together to define the values that we desire and that we need, and then we need to inculcate and engender within our expeditionary communicators. I will tell you that your experience, education, and accomplishments all that spell out 85th EIS AoC in stark relief. And here you sit, ready to take command. Your previous assignments of OIC, Crew Commander, Flight Commander, DO, and Staff Planner at both the Major Command and the Combatant Command level have exceptionally well qualified you for the office you're about to enter as Squadron Commander. So make no mistake, challenges await. As the commander of the Air Force's sole remaining active duty EI unit, you will quickly find yourself in high demand. And that newfound popularity can probably be a little overwhelming, especially at first. But the 175 military and civilian airmen entrusted to your care will be your greatest asset. I know that you will leverage that resource wisely and that you will safeguard and care for it diligently. So saddle up, Whit. It's time to give you the reins and put you to work. And I've lost my mask.
Thank you, Colonel Tratcher. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Lieutenant Colonel Walker will now assume command of the 85th Engineering Installation Squadron.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. The Department of the Air Force, Special Order Number G-20-16, under the provisions of Air Force Instruction 51-509, and effective the 22nd day of January, 2021. Lieutenant Colonel Whitney P. Walker assumes command of the 85th Engineering Installation Squadron. Signed, Colonel James M. Tratcher, Commander, 38th Cyberspace Engineering Installation Group.
Sir, I assume command.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 85th Engineering Installation Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Whit Walker.
Wow. What an exciting day. Deanna, the kids and I have been in the joint world for a couple of years now, and I can't think of a better way to come back to our great Air Force than today's ceremony and taking command of such a storied and proud unit. Colonel Anderson, if you made it, sir, I could not be more excited for this opportunity. Thank you for putting your trust and confidence in me and allowing me to lead the Air Force's only E&I squadron. I will do my absolute best to lead and care for the men and women of the 85th, and I look forward to working with you and the entire Dominator team. General Trasher, sir, thank you for taking the time to travel down to the Gulf Coast to host today's command ceremony. I've been looking forward to this day for many months, and it's truly humbling, and it's an amazing feeling to take the guy on celebration. I know you've supported and advocated for this unit for almost 2 years, and I look forward to learning from you and working with you as we take the 85th to new heights. Out to social media land, General Radigi, General Retired Toohill, Colonel Coughlin, Colonel Fick, Colonel Kern, Colonel Retired Bird, Colonel Retired Douglas, Chief Retired Lanham, and Chief Retired Register. And if you made the transition after 9 o'clock, I'm sorry I missed you, but thank you so much for celebrating with us today. This is a very special day for the Walker family, and I'm so happy you were willing to take time out of your busy schedule to enjoy it with us. To the Dominators joining today, I know I'm joining an incredible team with an incredible mission. I look forward to learning about what you do every single day and figuring out how we can better align to support your daily operations. Please touch base with me early and often if you need anything. To Team Keesler, I know there are a number of the 81st and 403rd leaders joining us today. Thank you for the warm reception thus far as we've settled in on base. The support team from the host wing has been outstanding, and I look forward to continuing the professional relationship the squadron has with the main base and joining the diverse family of Team Keesler. To any other group commanders, to my fellow squadron commanders, to my family all across the country and of the world at this point, to my family, to my colleagues, and finally, to the men and women of the 85th Engineering Installation Squadron. Thank you all for sharing this special day with my family and me. There is no place in the Air Force I'd rather be right here than standing, taking command of the 85th Engineering Installation Squadron. I'll begin by thanking my family, because without their support, none of this would have been possible. To my mom, who has attended almost every major event in my career, if we missed the Germany event potentially. Thank you for showing me the definition of hard work and dedication as you raised 2 boys that have thus far not turned out too bad. My dad and stepmom are watching from Arkansas. Thank you for your continued support. To my extended Peruvian family, it's been so much fun being a part of your lives for the last 15 years. I love all of you. I wish you could be here to celebrate with us. And finally, Deanna, Ella, Liam, and Ethan. We've been all over the world together. We've laughed and cried together, and here we stand, getting ready to embark on another exciting journey alongside the families of the 85th. There's nobody I would rather share this time with, and I'm very blessed to have you all in my life. And now to the men and women of the 85th, for just over 50 years last year, dating back to when you were the 1839 Electronics Installation Group, and then the 1839 Engineering Installation Group, then the 738th Engineering Installation Squadron, and now since 2005, the 85th Engineering Installation Squadron. You have performed a critical role for the Air Force and our joint partners all around the world. And in fact, the unit has a standing relationship with my last command, which I was very excited to find out about this past fall. So as I began asking around the organization, I was amazed at the positive feedback received about the 85th from all ranks and all services. I found out there have been a number of times when the 85th has been asked to come in and re-accomplish E&I work from other services, which speaks directly to the professionalism and reliability of the squadron. And one of the more notable comments was, and I quote, "The 85th provides the level of service we love." And this is notable for 2 reasons. One, getting someone in special operations passionate enough about communications to say that they love it is notable in and of itself. And 2, those words were spoken by a member from a unit where perfection is the absolute standard. And this tells me that the 85th has proven themselves time and time again by providing the absolute best in engineering and installation support to the warfighter. To the men and women of the 85th watching today, some of who have been providing that unparalleled level of service for more than 30 years, I look forward to working alongside you and learning from you over the next 2 years. With your support, I will focus my attention on 3 things, and it begins with our squadron abbreviation, EIS. First, the E. I will empower our airmen and our civilians to execute the mission. You are our our greatest asset, and you have shown you are proficient at executing that mission. My goal is to ensure you are trained and equipped to continue performing at the highest level. For the I will strive to improve the unit. I know the unit has been clicking on all cylinders for a while, but we will find ways to improve on even our best practices, and we will create new and repeatable processes for those areas that need attention. And finally, the S, I will support our airmen and our civilians and their families. Without you, none of this would be possible. As much as we can, in the current environment we live in, we will make this unit one big family, supporting one another, sharing our lives with each other, and making memories that will last for many years to come. Now, before I conclude, I need to recognize the work of a few individuals. First off, Major Bud Williams. As Colonel Trotcher mentioned, Bud was called up to act as the commander for almost a year, at a time when the squadron needed leadership, and in the middle of the COVID pandemic, Bud filled a much-needed vacuum and kept the unit moving forward. Bud, thank you for your professionalism, thank you for your leadership, as you excelled in an extremely challenging environment. I'm very appreciative of your support over the past few months. I could not ask for a better transition. Thank you. To the men and women that put this ceremony together and gave us an amazing start to the day. Lieutenant Miles, Lieutenant Lopez, who led the ceremony preparation, First Sergeant, for herding the cats, and ensuring everyone on social media could join us today. Ella, that was amazing shooting. Saul, thank you for the kind words. As always, we miss you guys, and we can't wait for the next reunion. Tech Sergeant Michael McLeod, I'm looking forward to seeing the photos. Thanks for capturing this special day for the family and me. And finally, Sergeant Brown, thank you for the outstanding job as an MC, and thank you to you all. It means a lot to us. I would like to close by thanking the men and the women of the 85th Engineering Installation Squadron for allowing my family and me to be part of this incredible unit. Together, we will accomplish our vision to remain the premier choice to engineer and install communications capability for contingency and peacetime operations. And by accomplishing this vision, we will execute our mission of rapidly deploying to provide world-class capabilities to our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Guardians with pride worldwide. Let's get started.
Thank you, Colonel Walker. The men and women of the 85th Engineering Installation Squadron would like to present Mrs. Walker with a bouquet of flowers to welcome her and the Walker family as Lieutenant Colonel Walker assumes his new duties as squadron commander. Ms. Deanna?
Thank you so much.
Good job.
This concludes today's ceremony. Please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and remain standing for the departure of the official party. Thank you for joining us today.
We are done, buddy. Good work. You were the best 4-year-old. He was. right, let's do this since we have gloves on. All right. Good work, team.
You're gonna do some candy photos?
Family photos, let's do it.
Yep.